Hey guys, it's Karen and I'm cooking today one of my very favourite lunches to have. If I had to just have one lunch for the rest of my life, this would be it, because I love my salmon. So it's salmon, so I've got my salmon fillets from Marks and Spencer's, and this time I'm just going to cook one, and then I'm going to use new potatoes, and I'm going to cook 200 grams of these. So that one salmon fillet plus the 200 grams of potatoes will last 2 days, and is really low calorie, low carb, because it's got the potatoes in it, and it's just so tasty and so filling. And it's also one that I can eat on the go because I eat it cold, and I just split it into 2 Tupperwares, and that's great because tomorrow I'm doing a training course all day at work, so I will need my lunch with me, so it's something that I can eat. The only thing is I do put a little bit of salt on it, but that's okay. Actually, when does the other salmon fillet run out? This salmon runs out on the 3rd of April, which is this Friday, so I shall probably do the same lunch again on Wednesday. What is it today? Today's Monday, yeah. So this will be today and tomorrow. Then I'll probably cook them on Tuesday night for Wednesday, Thursday. And Thursday I'm going into town, and I do tend to take a lunch into town with me if I've got something healthy, just to avoid me picking up rubbish, you know, and eating rubbish. Before you join me to cook it, I just wanted to say about potatoes. It's really important if you're doing this and you want to do it low GI to have new potatoes, and the reason that you would want to do low GI is because it makes your blood sugar more stable, basically. And I've got polycystic ovaries, which means that it's a form of insulin deficiency. Most people with polycystic ovary have got an insulin deficiency, so I've been tested for it, and I have too much insulin, basically, and it means that my kind of blood sugar levels are all over the place. If I don't eat, I feel dizzy. If I eat too much sugar, I feel tired, and you know, this really helps to balance out your sugars. And if you are having problems with bad skin or lack of energy or anything like that, eating low GI would be really good for you. So like I said, try and remember and get new potatoes because they have a lower GI content than normal potatoes do. So if you'd like to see how I cook this, then join me in the kitchen. Okay, so what I was going to do was use foil, as I always do, but my foil has gone a bit wrong. You know, when it kind of splits in the middle, and yeah, not very good. So I can't use that foil. So what I'm going to use is these roasting bags that I got from Lakeland, and we've used these before when the foils, when we've run out of foil, and they're just called roast in bags. And so I'm going to put my salmon in this, just one salmon fillet, like I said, but I will put it on a chopping board first to add on the flavours. Okay, so with a knife, I'm just going to cut lots of slices into the salmon so that it soaks up the lemon that I'm going to put on it. And it's important to put the lemon on it. I'm just using Tesco's lemon juice, not a real lemon. It's important to put the lemon before the herbs, etc., because it will kind of soak it up. It gives it something to soak it up. So I'm using some turmeric for my joints. I've done this salmon before, as you know. A little bit of chili powder, and chili powder, this is mild, is good for if you are on a diet and trying to lose some weight. And then I'm using some garlic salt, some Bart's garlic salt for flavour. What I'll do as well is I'm just going to put some of this garlic salt in the bag. And you could put all of this in the bag actually, and I'm also going to put some of the lemon juice in the bag as well. So I'll pour whatever's left on that board in there, and then, like I said, put some lemon juice in there. So I'd normally saturate it with lemon juice, so sorry, I know that's out of focus there. I just like shot some of that lemon juice into the roasting bag. So you need to be careful with turmeric because it will stain, as you can see from my chopping board. It will come off of this, but when I had my braces on, I had this turmeric salmon, and it made all my teeth yellow, so that wasn't very pleasant. Anyway, while we're waiting for this, I'm just going to weigh my potatoes. So I'll get a saucepan, and then I want everything to be on for the same amount of time, so I'm just going to weigh, like I said, 200 grams of potatoes. So that's my potatoes, but I'm going to cut them very small because what I want to happen is that I can put the salmon in for 20 minutes and I can put the potatoes in for 20 minutes and we're good to go in 20 minutes. So I'm just going to slice them in half. See if you can see this. And then I'm just going to slice them along so that they're just tiny little bits of potato. And then what happens is when you mix it in with the salmon and that lemon juice, because they're so small, it kind of soaks up the juices from that and is a lot more tasty, a lot tastier. And it also looks like a lot more food, I have to say. The oven's heating up, by the way. You do need to preheat your oven to about 200 degrees Celsius, that is. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I think it might be about 350. Okay, sometimes in here I put a stock cube, but I'm not going to today. I'm actually just going to put some more of that garlic salt in. and you can use less or more salt depending on if you're trying to reduce salt or not. You can also put turmeric in here. So I'm just going to fill this up with cold water. So that's my potatoes ready to boil. I'm going to put them on the gas hob at the highest gas level. That's my oven heated up and my potatoes on the boil. So I'm just going to set my timer for, I set it for about 23 minutes. I set it for 23 minutes, which is pretty exact, but that to me gives the perfect salmon, that there's no pinkness, but it's still nice and moist. So I'm not going to seal that. I'm just going to fold it over and stick it on a baking tray that's in the oven preheating. Okay, so while I was waiting for my salmon, or while I am waiting for my salmon to cook, I decided to mess around with this new spiralizer that I got that I just thought I'd show you. I'm not that impressed with it, to be honest. It's the second one I've got. The other one is a little handheld thing. I mean, this is handheld as well. I don't think there is an electronic one. And I just can't seem to get the hang of it. Anyway, what I've mostly got from it is just bits of carrot, which is fine. And I think I got one piece right, which looks like that. So it was just to have some vegetables with it. So I'm going to just put that on my plate to go with my salmon. Okay, so that's my salmon done and my potatoes done. So I'm just going to drain my potatoes, stick them in a plastic bowl, which I'm just going to put the salmon in on top and mix it all in. So that's the salmon. Oh, no, you can't see it. So that's the salmon in a bag there. So I'll just cut that off so that I don't, you need to be careful you don't burn yourself when it's in a bag like this. But I want to make sure I can tip the juices in. So I'll just tip it into the bowl like that. Go. Oh, sorry, I realised I've still got the autofocus on there. So I'm just going to chop up that salmon, flake it a little bit, and then I'll mix it in with those potatoes. And that's what it ends up looking like. So I'm just going to put some of that in a Tupperware for tomorrow. So I'll just put it in a Tupperware like this. Okay guys, so that is the finished result. It just kind of looks like a salmon hash, doesn't it? Which, you know, this is not about presentation for these meals. It's about something that's kind of healthy and low fat and low calorie and low carb and all of that. So I'm going to eat this just now and enjoy it very much. You could obviously put a lot more salad on here as well, but it was a bit of a rushed weekend, so I didn't really have time to plan out my meals and think about all the different vegetables that I wanted, and I don't want to just buy veg and waste it, you know. But I'll probably, like I said, buy some tomorrow and have a little bit more with this as the week goes on. This works out about 250 calories, so again, really low calorie. Let me know if you end up making any of these lunches, and I hope to be able to do a few more. Everybody has been so nice and said that you're really enjoying these and that they're really useful, but obviously there's a limited amount of lunches that I eat, and these I'm going to make them again and again, you know. So I think I've done, say, 4 now, and I'm going to do this one and then another couple. I will eat those like one week and then something else the following week and something else the following week, or have 2 different meals in 2 different types of lunches in 1 week. So I don't have an unending kind of supply of recipes, although I will try and think of new things. But there's 2 other things. I'm going to do a chicken salad, and I'm also going to do just the boiled eggs on toast that I have, which is really simple, but it's simple, but I think boiled eggs are really hard to cook, and I think I've kind of got it. So that's everything. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.